Kathy Vick, Deeply Awake, Chats 2017. I feel like breaking a paradigm. I've done some work on this, actually quite a lot. It had to do with a very early physical vision and meditation I had in this activation process, where I had a meditation where it was very odd. There was this individual right in front of me, but her image was in shards, very angular shards of mirror. And then I realized when I moved my head, the image moved its head. And I realized, oh, those are my features. Oh, that's me. Huh. Wow. And it was discordant. It was disconnected. It was a weird feeling to watch that. But what I was told was that is the old paradigm. That's the paradigm of projection. Funny how the image came with shards of mirrors. Huh? The next morning I had another meditation. I had talked about it, this big silver blob. It was huge. It was the biggest thing I've ever seen in the galaxy. It was in deep space, and it was like unfathomably gigantic, humongous, and it was undulating. And as I got closer, I saw, oh, there are arms, that are just lazily undulating, and legs, and hair that was flowing, and this amazing face. And I understood that just like those mirrors was me, that silver goddess, that thing that's even bigger than Shiva, and Shiva is the biggest thing I could ever imagine. That's me. That's me too. So I want to ask you, okay, I'm just living my life, right? And I'm talking to somebody, and I can see wisps of whatever that is. Energy. Flitting past me as I'm talking. Just in conversation. My life is a series of this. I mean, pretty much from the time I wake up until the time I go to bed, I have weirdnesses like that, okay? I want to ask you, how many mirrors do you think I have for that? How many mirrors do you think I have? Precious few. I had one. And you've seen me actively grieve losing him. One person I've had where it's been on nearly every level. That's a mirror. But when I say, I don't know, something innocent like, I'd rather not eat there, I'd rather not talk about it right now, I don't feel comfortable discussing that right now. Holy God, that's enough for some of the people in my inner circle. It's like a it's like a red thing to a bull, and it's on, and I am beaten and bloodied. Is that a mirror? Is that a part of my soul that needs to come home? Well, you know, I've done a lot of work. Owning my bully, owning my victim. I've had to. But I'm really at this point past done thinking that the small, angry, humiliating, nasty people who I have had in my reality from the time I was born. I've had enough time thinking they're my heroes and they're my mirrors. They're not. They're my foils. And yes, on a soulic level, they're my brothers. Sure, on a soulic level, we all signed up for this. You betcha. But now that I walk around at a soulic level, hey, guess what? You don't get to crap on me anymore. I'm not playing that game anymore. If you can mirror some of the good, if you can find it in your body habitus to be gentle, to be easy with it, to be honest, to be emotionally vulnerable, to take some responsibility for your experience, you're getting prettier and prettier and prettier. There are a lot of people who I've allowed great authority in my life, in my head, because I thought they were a mirror. I thought that their anger and rage and immaturity was mine. I thought their darkness was mine. And I was grateful for the lessons because I wanted to expunge it. All right, well, yeah, I've been a handful. Yeah, I took on some really dorky behavior because I that's how I had to survive the dorks. I don't have a lot of dorks in my life right now. I don't intend to have any more. I'm a little bit wiser now. And, you know, it to me anymore, you can match me on all levels. All of them. If you're not taking responsibility for your experience, if you're blaming it on someone else, blaming it on your circumstances, blaming it on the moon, you're not mirroring me. And sooner or later, I'm going to be the cause of your problem. Sooner or later, you're going to blame me because you're into blame, because you're not into owning your shit. I can say you because I know a lot of people like this. I can also say I've gone through this. And anybody who's known me in my 56 years at certain points will say, oh, well, she was just like that. Yeah, I was. Yeah. That's why Ascension is so cool. That's why, call it whatever you want to call it. I don't care. When you start seeing things more clearly, when your DNA starts working better, then some of the lower agreement stuff of, oh, well, the way I feel is because what you're doing. No, it's really not. No, you're generating your own feeling state. I'm just doing my thing. Thanks a lot. And the truth is that if really the people around me were mirrors, I would live in peace and harmony. And thankfully, I have more mirrors now. I have more mirrors. And I've treated some of my mirrors really crappy because I haven't known. I haven't been able to do a very good risk assessment, and I kept thinking that every single person in my reality was someone who had the capacity to go off the rails and become evil. Well, yeah, everybody does, but you know what? That's not true. I'm not evil. I don't do evil things. And I'm proud of the choices I make. I'm I'm proud of who I chose to love, and I'm proud of who I chose to walk away from. Both actions. I'm proud of both. I used to feel really guilty and ashamed of having to sever ties. Not ever since what I learned. Not ever since I've been charged with putting my son back together. Nope. So, the madness around me is not a mirror for my madness. If I walked around in a hall of mirrors, there would be fields of flowers. There would be wildlife living wildly. There would be friends who don't hold as theirs the songs of self-pity, martyrdom, and brutality. I hold this to be my truth. I'm proud and pleased and grateful for those in my life who do not hold those vibrations. It's possible. I'm friends with living proof that this is possible. And so this is the time in my life I get to walk away from the belief that I'm bad, down deep, that I'm flawed, that if only I did this, or said this, or thought this, I'd be whole, I'd be forgiven. Does that ring any bells? Let me lay it on you. I was a kid trying to figure out whether I should be confirmed as a Lutheran. I went to the pastor because I couldn't figure out what I was being asked to believe. Couldn't figure it out. Yeah, there's the he died for your sin stuff that just is nonsense, but then there's this other stuff. A creator being creates humans, but creates them flawed, broken, actually, broken in half, dirty, bad. And the people finally become self-aware enough to realize there's a creator, and they go to the creator and say, hey, we're broken. We need you to help us. And the creator being says, well, I made you in my image, ... That aside, the only way, yes, there is one way to be whole. There's one way to become unbroken. All you got to do is ask my forgiveness. I'm sorry, what? I don't understand. Explain that to me. Why would I want to do that? The person who is at fault here is, if there's going to be fault, is the Creator God, not us. And that the Creator God would ask us to forgive Him tells me just how messed up He is. I think not. From that poison tree, poison fruit falls. So of course there'd be a deity bloodied and beaten and humiliated on a cross. Of course, the means of execution and torture would be the little trinket around everybody's neck. Of course. So yeah, I don't think so. Thanks anyway. And I went to my mom and said, hey, I know confirmation's coming up, but I can't do it. I didn't believe in original sin. I didn't believe in this creator thing. I didn't believe that Jesus died for my sins because I didn't think that I was full of sin. I can remember being a kid and saying, I think that, there is no such thing as evil. I think there's ignorance, but there's no evil. And everybody eye rolls as a collective eye roll in the car. Like I'm the crazy one. Yeah, that's how I was dealt with. Just shut up, Kathy. Whatever. Didn't have a lot of mirrors. Well, that made, and I walked through life scared because I didn't have anybody, telling me it was okay to think these things. Obviously, I was told by a lot of people I was wrong. Dangerous. I should be quiet. Then people wonder why I'm quiet. God. Whatever, dude. Whatever. And it really, literally, it's the same people who shut me up, who are pissed off because I don't talk to them. Yeah, okay, well, what else would I expect? What else could I expect? So, I think that it's a trap, and I think it's a lethal one. I think it's a psychological trap to think that when people are being abusive, immature, unloving, unthinking, willingly, wantonly cruel, that's a mirror? Well, okay, take a look at yourself. Really? If you were in that kind of situation, is that what you would opt to do? If it isn't, use yourself as the metric. Use yourself as your own ruler. That's a double entendre, Sovereign. Who's your authority? And it's taken me a lifetime to decide I am my authority. Because the people who really need to be in authority, wow, they don't deserve my buy-in. They don't deserve my vote. So yeah, you can be a beautiful soul, and I can recognize that on all levels. But it's an all-level kind of thing, and it's a boots-on-the-ground thing. How do you translate it? In the moment, at your decision point, what do you hold as true, immutable, a law? That's what these times are for. So, I'm going to go, I'm going to go hang out with one of my honest-to-goodness mirrors. It's amazing. It's really fun. So, if you exit Hurly-Burly Land, awesome. I'll meet you. There's this beautiful green, grassy hill I know of that overlooks miles and miles and miles. Lots of towns. Hurly-Burly Land, there's a lot of smoke coming from it always. And further along is that Hall of Mirrors. And then you come to this hill. And it's quiet. It's just after sunset. And there's nothing but a sense of fullness, completion, satisfaction, rest, earned surcease. And there's knowledge that what is ahead is the best part. It's the easiest part. But it's going to be so nice that a rest is what's called for. So, just call me. I'll be there. We can hang out, drink some coffee, smoke, sit in silence, or talk each other's ears off. It doesn't matter. But there is peace. And then there is a new kind of productivity, a new kind of walk, a new earth. And in this new place, there are no projections. There is commitment. There is connection. There is reunion. There is accord. There's humor. There's non-defensiveness. There's generosity. And as I say those words, I'm living out in my mind so many encounters I have had with people I love that is recent, living, breathing proof that Hurly-Burly Land really is just a memory. And yes, insertions of this energy come. And I'm more than aware that when these insertions come, it's really just to make sure I am where I need to be. And that I don't take the nonsense as real, but instead see it as someone else's pain and an invitation to dive into their little pool of pain. You know what? I'm going to stand at the side of the pool with a smile and a towel and your favorite drink. That's what I'm going to do. I hope that's okay. But if it's not, I know the worst that's going to happen is I'm going to hear some hollers from the pool and maybe somebody who's going to try to ineffectively splash me. Well, guess what? I'm more mobile now. I can move out of the way. Go ahead. But I'm not joining you anymore. There are others who are more than willing. I'm done with the mirror work. I'm done with taking responsibility for other people's pain. I'm done with healing in that way. There's a more effective way of healing. Oh, we're cooking with gas now, guys. All right. Okay. I get to go have fun. I get to have a lot of fun today. I'm disappointed because I don't have my son along with me. He's still in the middle of his story. Come on, pick up the beat, pick up the beat, pick up the beat. He'll get there. He'll get there. He hasn't been on that green grass for more than a couple minutes. He got bloodied up pretty bad. Let him rest. Let him rest. Let him rest. I hope this finds you well and happy. If you're in the middle of trauma or difficulty, you wouldn't be there unless you were ready for it. Ask for help. Ask for help. Ask for help. It's a breath away. Namaste.